Okay, good morning. Welcome to
FamilyMath number 1071.
FamilyMath 1071. So I'm going to need one of you to write since I'm filming this on my phone. So this morning, actually, thanks to Tim Gowers' Twitter thread that we're going to read next, I saw this really nice article from Carl Bergstrom and Natalie Dean. Natalie Dean is the Florida professor who we did our project on some of her work last week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this was about herd immunity, this article. So can you tell me two things you thought were interesting in this article?
Well, just first off, the concept of herd immunity.
Okay. Had you heard of it before?
Not heard of it before.
Okay.
So herd immunity is when eventually after the spread of a disease, enough people in the population become immune or vaccinated against it so that the disease can't infect people enough to grow, and so it eventually just dies out.
Okay.
And then what the article explained is maybe why this isn't a great strategy against the coronavirus.
All right, and why is that?
That's because, well, we don't have a vaccine for it yet. So the only way to use herd immunity in this case would just be to wait until the appropriate ratio of the population has been infected with it and are immune to it. And then that way the disease can't spread further. But they don't know if you're immune to it or for how long after you stop showing symptoms for it after you get it.
Okay. All right, interesting. How about you? What are some things that you thought were interesting or wanted to talk about in this article?
I thought that some of the misconceptions about herd immunity were kind of interesting.
Okay. So what was one of those?
It was when you reach herd immunity, herd immunity means that there's no more cases. Because when you get, I think they said that an estimate here is 2/3 of the population having had this disease. But more cases, even though the disease isn't growing anymore, you still get more cases and you still get many more people that get the disease. So when everything is done, the percentage of the people who have had the disease is a lot more than their initial 2/3.
Okay.
And it was, I think they had this analogy of a runaway train where a runaway train doesn't stop as soon as the track goes uphill. And that's the analogy for herd immunity here.
Okay.
The disease won't stop when the cases start to decline.
All right, good. Anything else?
Let me see. Yeah, this is the herd immunity graph right there. Yeah, and I guess that herd immunity is not a great idea because we just don't know a lot about the disease. We don't know how long you stay immune. We don't know. We don't even know really the percentage of people who die from the disease. So getting a large percentage of the population infected with the disease could mean that a lot of people die.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're going to talk about one thing from that article and see how they got to the 2/3. Okay.